Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne. It's the end of the week today. I'm going to be doing pack 4 of the Agora Models release and build the SAS Jeep Willys. This has been coming together awfully quick, hasn't it? Look at this. Not too bad, is it? We're going to be building onto this today. We do have some sort of like accessory parts as well that we had in the last pack. Like this, water bottles and stuff like that. I think we got some more of those today as well. I haven't really looked at the instructions though, I never do. I like to be surprised when I open these boxes up. If you want to get this for yourself, I have put a link in the video description and you do have that QR code on the screen, but we're doing stages 23 to 30, I think it is. So without further ado, let's get cracking. And we're going to start with stage 23. Okay, let's bring over what we had created last time. And just like we did at the back here, I've got these braces or brackets to put over this arm here. And it does go into the holes that I've got here. So let's just get me tweezers so I can manipulate this into position. So it's in just like that. Let's do the same on the other side. There we go. That one's got in easy as well. And then on the insides, we've got two more. And those brackets are going to go into the two holes on the inside of each side. Now, when I've been turning these over, they have been falling out, even though they go all the way through. So I am just going to put a little bit of glue on these to keep these in. So as you can see, I've got two in that side. Got one more to put in the other side here. And as you can see, they're in there. Perfect. All that's left to do then is to put these in position. I want the hole to be facing on the top, so it's going to be going that way. There is sort of like a square for this to fit into. And when I do put this in, I do want to make sure that I'm pushing this all the way down so there's no gap between these sections here. And with that in, that's all there is to do in that stage. Now we do have this part, which we're not doing anything with. So again, I'm going to put that in my little pot here of accessories. So in stage 24, we're going to start building the rear differential. Did you hear all those metal parts then? Okay, first thing I want to do is this tiny sprue here. I need my sprue cutters. I'm going to be cutting off this little cap here. And pushing this into the hole in the end of the differential here. So that's looking like that. Then I've got a bigger kind of cap here with a square indent on the top. And that's going to be going onto this side of the differential. Push that into the hole here. This is the metal part. That's not going anywhere. Like that. And then we're going to be piecing this together. So if we have this way round, I'm going to be putting this underneath here like that. And I'm holding it in with two FM screws. Now these have already been color graded to the color that you see of this SAS Jeep. Perfect. And the other one in here, I want that in tight there. I've got the shaft going in and I want it going in this way here. So that side's just going to fit in there. The other side is going to be fitting there like that. That's looking good. Then I'm taking the end, having it this way around with these details furthest away from me. Put that on the end there. And then it's just a case of piecing everything together by putting this metal top piece on like this. That's going to hold everything into place. And once again, those F screws, two of them, to hold that in. Perfect. And with that in, that is all there is to do in that stage. In stage 25, we're actually going to start doing the first wheel now. So let's get these parts out. Once again, heavy metal. And the first thing I want to do is I want to be taking this drum part here, putting that inside the wheel like that. Held in with these CM screws. Bit of oil going into metal there. And I need 2 of these. That's good. And as you can see, I've got this section, this section, this section, and not to forget this tiny little black washer. That's all there is to do in that stage. That was a quick stage, wasn't it? Mainly because, as you can see in stage 26, we have got the first tyre. And we are going to need to create a rim. This tyre is rock hard, and I mean it's rock hard. This needs to go in boiling water. So I'm going to need to boil a kettle up.
A few moments later.
Which I have got here. Remember, boiling water will destroy your A2 cutting mats if you've got one. So make sure you put it on some sort of kitchen towel or cloth so the heat doesn't make that bad. Put this in here. Let that soak for about a minute. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to be putting this side into here. So fish this out, move that over, and I've got this on a cloth here. It will stay soft for a little while. Just get off any of the excess water with a shake. Perfect. Okay, I'm just double checking which way round it's going to go. Okay, this way here. I'm going to be putting this into the top. I am working quickly, but look how flexible that is now. Turn it over. And then on the other side here, I'm going to be putting this. I'm going to want it this way round. Line up the holes. Just like that. And then I've got these BM screws here. You see I'm working quite quickly to get this together. Now what we want to do is just do it enough so that you can actually put a couple of screws in, which I've just done. And hold it from the back when you're doing that. There we go. If you make the two opposites tight, there's going to be no problems putting in the last screw in the other 2 holes. Now as this starts to cool down, that sponginess that we've got where we've made the tyre soft is going to disappear, and that's going to be hard and rigid again. See, it's got a little spring in it when I'm putting pressure on that. But there you go, that's the last one going in there. Then on this side here, I'm just going to be dropping this black washer into there, making sure it's sitting flat. There you go. And I'm just going to keep that in place just for a minute by putting this hub over the top so we don't lose that washer. And with that done, that's all there is to do in that stage. Now we do have some binoculars, as you can see, which are going to go into my little accessory pot here. Okay, we knew this was coming. We had to have one fiddly stage. Stage 27, we're going to start doing the brake hoses. So I'm getting out all the little tiny details and connectors here. Some of them are really small. So the first thing I want to do is take this pipe, and I want to be cutting 2 sections to 10 centimetres. Now each one of these squares is 1 centimetre. So that's a 10 centimetre. That's a 10 centimetre. And I need to cut one piece to 5 centimetres. That's 5 centimetres. Oh, and one more piece. They want a really long one, 18 centimetres. That's up here. And there's my really long one. Okay, we're going to start building some stuff together now. I'm going to need this detail here. I can't identify these parts. This is why I love doing YouTube, because you people can tell me what these parts are. Okay, first thing I need is this bracket is actually going to be going on top of this section here, just like that. I'm holding it in with 2 of the colour-coded CP screws. Now as I'm screwing this in, the smaller lip is the one that's actually going on here, and this is actually going in the same direction as that nipple that we've got on the side there. Now I need one of our 10 centimetre pipes, and on the nipple on top here I'm going to be putting this pipe into place, wiggling it in so it goes in all the way. I have put glue in there so that doesn't come out. Now in the nipple coming out the other way here, bit of glue, I'm going to be putting that 18 centimetre one in. Again, wiggling that on so it's on all the way. Okay, I'm just going to push this over here because I now need to bring this over. And I'm going to want to turn this upside down. Let's have it this way round, because this is going to be going into the 2 holes that you can see just there on the frame. And I'm holding that in with 2 DM screws. And just one on the other side. Okay, let's turn this over. Now, this long lead I've got here, I want to be passing through the trunking here, or the frame. Now there is a little hole in that notch there for this to actually go into. So let me get my tweezers to help me. That's perfect. So this is coming out the bottom here, and it's coming out of the frame like that. So it's going along this frame here in the hole, so it's underneath this section, so it's coming out here. Put that to one side, and I need this little cross connector here with the last 2 pipes that I've got. So in one side, and I am using glue, I don't want these coming out, I'm going to have the 10cm pipe. That's on my right, and then on the left, well, it's on my right now because I've just flipped it over. I'm going to have the 5cm one. Now in the end of this, I've got another little detail to put in. These are like little plugs, if you like. So again, I'm putting some glue just on the end, and I'm going to put one of these in each end. So one there, and then do the same on this side. So just so you know you've got this in the right way, you should have a larger lug at the bottom with this nipple pointing towards me, this short one on the left, this one on the right. Hopefully that's helped. Because I'm going to be putting this now into the frame, just into the hole there. Let's get that in. Don't know if I'm going to need to glue this, I'll let you know in a second. I'm just making this hole a little bit bigger here with a miniature file, just to help aid get this in, because I am struggling a bit to get this in. Got in perfect that time though. Okay, so to connect these up, these are actually going to be going into the holes that we've got into these brakes here. So I'll put this in this side. Again, I'm going to see how tight this is, depending. It is very tight. I'm not going to need to glue that, and I'll do exactly the same thing on the other side. It's going over the top of that differential there. Hopefully on the top camera you can see that's in as well. Now the pipe that's coming here is the last one that's actually going to be going onto that 3-pronged nipple that we were just having trouble getting in there. So I am putting some glue on that, and I'm going to get this into place, wiggling it in. Excellent. And that is how that should look. Boy, that was fiddly. Right, put that to one side. I'm going to be bringing over the jerry can now. This jerry can, 2 parts here, just to piece together. So it's looking like that. I am going to weather these up afterwards, just so you know, and make them look a bit more used, rather than these pristine condition that you're seeing here. 2 DP screws in here. That's going to hold that together. I want to hide those holes, so I've got these little blankers here. Now these should be a really tight fit as well, as you can see, so they're going to hide the screw holes, just like that. Whoops. I've got a cap just to put into this side here, and then the last thing I need to put in is just the handle, which is going over the top like that. Again, it's holding itself in, but that is the end of that stage. We're not finished with brake hoses. Are we going to be doing the same thing again? More connectors. We're going to be fitting the rear brake lines now. So I will have my glue at hand, but I need to cut 2 pieces at 7 centimeters. And I need 1 piece at 5 centimeters. Once again, I've got two of these little cross sections here, so I'm trying to figure out which one it is. Okay, the larger of the two, we don't want that. We want the smaller of the two here that looks like this. And again, I'm going to get some glue. So on this little connector, I'm going to be gluing in the smaller of the pipes, that little 5 centimeter one there. Let's bring over the car again. And do you remember this cable that we passed through the hole earlier on? We're going to be gluing that on the other side of this connector. So get that in here. Excellent. And then I'm going to want to put this into the hole that you can see just in the middle here. So I'm just dabbing that with some glue. Get my tweezers and I'll get this into place. There you go. Okay, put that to one side. And now I want to be taking this cross section I've got here, and I'm going to be putting the last two pipes that we've got onto that. So these are the 7 centimeter pipes. And then once again, in the ends here, I've got these little tabs which are eventually going to plug into those brakes. So a little bit of glue, and I'll put the ends in here. Gluing my fingers to everything. So if I just turn this over, you see I've got a hole on the differential there. I'm going to just drop some glue into that hole, because I'm going to want to put this into place with the nipple that I've got free facing this way. Perfect. So that's in like that. And then once again, just like we did before, I'm going to be taking these pipes and putting them into the discs. Once again, I am finding if you are having problems with the hole being just a bit too small, I have got a file here just to open that out just a touch. This was holding, but I do want it to go all the way in because I don't want this falling out. And as you can see, that goes all the way in then. Perfect. All that's left to do then is the last lead that I've got left. Put some glue just on the nipple there. And then I can connect this into this here. And there we go. That's all the pipe work done for the brakes. So once again, I put that to one side. And I'm building a jerry can again, which is just a case of putting these two parts here together, opening these DP screws. I was lucky then, I got 2 packs of DP screws then. One was stuck to the other, but I only need 1 pack. Get this screwed in, hide the holes with these little blanker pads. Put the cap on, and then the handle. And there we go. That's 2 jerry cans completing that stage. Of this pack, we're going to be starting to fit the exhaust pipe here. Get this open. And the first thing I need is this part of the muffler. And I also need this small section of the exhaust, which is actually just going to go through the lug there. That's going to hold that into position while I put a CP screw in there. That's holding one side in. It's going to be pretty similar for the other side here. This is going to be going in here just like this. And again, a CP screw to hold that in. By the way, look, we do have another one of these. We don't do anything with that. Goes on my accessories list. Sometimes these builds are like doll's houses. You saw the Apache helicopter at the start of the week. There's a lot of stuff on there, wasn't there? Okay, let's bring over this section again of the whole frame. And this is actually going to be going underneath, but it's going to be going onto this bracket just here, like this. So I want to hold that in here with a CP screw. You will notice when you put it in, it does sit at an angle to the frame. It's not meant to be parallel to it. So that's in there. And then finally, I'm just going to open a DM screw. and turn this upside down, because I'm going to be putting that just into the position here, which is going to support the other side of that exhaust there. So at the end of that stage, that's how that's looking. So in the last stage of this pack, stage 30, as you can see, we've got a wheel arch here. I think we're going to be putting the wheels on, actually. This is solid metal, looking like that. Okay, bring this over. And this is going to be going on this side just here. So the way it fits on, this little notch is going to copy the notch that we've got just there. And that's going to help you line everything up to get that into place like that. Now it's held in with FM screws. I need 2 of these. It's going to fall out, I think, when I don't know, it's held itself in there. One just here. And one just at the other side over here. Now I've got this bracket which is going to reinforce this whole section here. Now it's going into the holes that we can see here, and we do have a locating lug on there. So this goes in just like that there. And then DM screws in these 2 holes. And once again, these DM screws are color coded. Now, on this section here, I've got this fiddle detail. I want it to be this way round, so that the injected moulded side, which has got the little bit of flashing, is actually facing down. That's just going to go in there. Once again, I want 4 of these DM screws to hold this in place. There you go, that's that detail in just there. I've got the wheel that I assembled in stage 3. Get your screwdriver and just poke that through here, so it's going to knock the hub out. There you go. You do want to ensure that we've got the washer in here though. Keep that washer in there, because I'm about to put the wheel on now, which actually just goes onto this section here, just like that. I've got an OM flange screw, which is going to go through that washer into the axle. And we want this wheel into nice and tight, so there's no wobble in it. It's still being able to turn there, as you can see. Then I can put the hub back on the top. And that is the first wheel in. And that's all there is to do in that stage. That's all there is to do in that pack. So I thought I'd break out my mobile camera so we can see everything that we've done. There's the wheel. We had the jerry cans. And obviously we did all of that brake stuff in the inside there. Perfect. I'm enjoying this build. I'm just enjoying wearing this military dress. Anyway, I really hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.